S7 is Russia's second biggest airline. The carrier has had quite an extensive fleet of aircraft and has been primarily impacted by the restrictions put in place. For January 2023, they've seen their destinations drop by 56 compared to the year prior, while countries operated also see a decrease by 17. Total flights and seats have dropped 18% respectively, and the airline, alongside other established Russian ones, has struggled to operate. Russian state media has reported that the airline is grounding its fleet of Airbus A321neos, the newer aircraft within its operations. A host of reasons have been thrown out as to why the airline has decided to ground the units. One of the more notable surrounds the airline preparing for the upcoming summer season. By grounding the units now, they can ensure that the series is readily available and functional during the busier months of travel. However, other reports suggest that an engine problem may be preventing the plane from operating. One of the biggest concerns many have had with the operations within Russia is the element of unknown over the conditions of the planes. The inability to properly source spare parts, or in some instances actually maintain them the same way they would a year ago, has meant that questions surrounding the safety have arisen. The Airbus A321neo, per data, have been equipped with Pratt & Whitney engines, which according to many reports have an ongoing operational and maintenance problem. As sanctions don't permit Russia to obtain spare parts and get fixes, some say this could actually be the beginning of broader issues for the fleet of operational planes. Last year, reports indicated that Aeroflot, the biggest carrier in the country, would potentially look to cannibalize its fleet of aircraft, essentially stealing parts from planes to keep some flying as best as they could for as long as possible. But at some point, that will have to end. According to the airline, though, they're adamant that it's actually just a typical winter season grounding that allows the planes to be inspected and also prepped for the summer. Due to the drop-off in demand, they said that there isn't as much need to fly these newer planes, like the A321neo, and these comments came from a spokesperson of the airline directly to local Russian state media. Per Cirium data, all 8 of these A321neos were acquired on an operating lease from 2017 to 2021. What is worth mentioning to really conclude the piece is, per requests from governments and much more, and even the leasing companies in question, these A321neos should have actually been returned last year, but instead S7 kept them on, essentially not allowing them to go back to their proper home. What are your thoughts on S7 grounding their A321neos? Do you believe this is just purely to preserve them for the summer? Do you potentially believe there is a broader issue with the engines? And I'd be interested to hear your take on the following question. Is this something we're going to be seeing more of as the sanctions continue and Russian airlines try to preserve their aircraft, or are unable to properly maintain or source spare parts to continue operating the aircraft? Let me know down below in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. It's going to be a busy weekend with news as we eagerly await Air India's historic order for aircraft. Take care and be safe, and I'll see you next time.